Now, Vivekananda comes to the crucial question. So he said law, vyapti, universal law. But what is this universe? So Vivekananda then plunges directly into non-dualism. He says this universe, what we are experiencing, is only a tiny part, a glimpse into reality. There is an unlimited reality, a limitless existence, consciousness, bliss. What do I mean by limitless existence? Existence that is not cut off by birth and death. It's not that something that comes into being, did not exist and comes into being, and then changes and then ages and dies and goes out of being. Not that kind of existence. Limitless existence. And all pervasive, everywhere it is there. And everything, nothing is different from it. So this limitless existence, this limitless consciousness, this limitless fulfillment, Sat Chit Ananda, this is the nature of reality. And that is the real existence, that is reality itself. What we experience as reality is through our minds and senses, is what we hear, smell, taste, touch, is what we think about it and understand it and desire and like and hate, and we deal with it through the mind. This is a slice of that reality, grasped by our senses and our mind. And this slice of reality, he says, it is reality coming to us through Maya. It is that limitless existence, consciousness, bliss, limitless Brahman coming to us through Maya. What is Maya? Space, time, and causation. It's a theater. It's like a Broadway play. On stage comes the universe. But what do you see the universe as? Not as limitless existence, consciousness, bliss. But you see it as not limitless existence. You see it as existing things. Chairs and tables, plants and rocks and lakes and sky and earth, existing things. This limitless awareness comes into this through Maya on stage before us. What does it come as? It comes as seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. It comes as thinking, remembering, desiring. It comes as waking, dreaming, sleeping. That limitless fulfillment, bliss, comes to us on stage through the lens of Maya, space, time, and causation. What do we experience it as? We experience it as the pursuit of pleasure. We experience it as the pursuit of beauty, aesthetics. We experience it as the pursuit of meaning in life, purpose of life. What's the point of it all? In reality, it is Sat Chit Ananda. And the Sat Chit Ananda we experience as existing things in the universe, as our conscious experience of the universe, and as our sense of meaning, purpose, values, beauty, existence, consciousness, bliss. Look at the grand questions of philosophy. What is real? Metaphysics, ontology. How do we know anything? Epistemology. And what's the point of it all? This is called axiology. Earlier it used to be called ethics and aesthetics and all. They have clubbed it together, a science of values. And look at what Vedanta says is ultimate reality. Sat, Chit, Ananda. The direct answers to these three questions. What is ultimately real? Sat, pure being, according to Vedanta. How do we know anything at all? How is knowledge possible? Chit, consciousness. What's the point of it all? What are we chasing here? Ananda, bliss. And Vedanta goes further. Not only giving these grand answers, and long ago, 5,000 years ago in the Upanishads, not only giving these grand answers, Vedanta goes further and says, this Satchid Ananda, it is no theory. It is no speculation. It is absolute fact. Why should I believe you? How do I know? What fact is it? It's you. Tattvamasi. You are that. You are limitless existence. You are limitless consciousness. You are the sum total of all fulfillment. Sat Chit Ananda. It is you. Are you a theory? Do you consider yourself to be a theory? Do you consider yourself to be some kind of speculation? Everything else can be a theory to you. Everything else can be speculation for you. But you are real. Are you not? Does anybody doubt his or her own existence? Say, yeah, Swami, that sounds nice. But I exist. That's one thing. I have no doubt about it. But it's not a limitless existence. I'm born and I age and I know I'll die. And I'm aware, I know, but I'm more aware after a cup of coffee, and I'm less and less aware as you go on in long, meandering talk. Uh, and fulfillment, well, I have bits and flashes of fulfillment in my life, but not much. It's mostly dull, dreary boredom, punctuated by moments of terror and unhappiness and anxiety. So that is my life. It's not limitless existence, consciousness, bliss. This is what Vedanta wants to show us. You do exist. There's no doubt. Nobody doubts it. And this existence, if you investigate it, if you were to investigate it, it would reveal itself as immortal being, as limitless awareness, and as endless fulfillment. We do not know it. We are chasing it in the world. What do we experience in the world? It is that limitless existence, consciousness being coming to our experience through time, space, and causation, through our minds and senses, as this world, as this little life, where we seem to be born and age and die and so on. And Vedanta wants to show us behind it all, behind this universe, behind means the reality of this universe is Brahman. Behind yourself means not there. It happens. The enlightened ones, they want to show it. It's something obvious to them, and they want to show it to us, but we don't see it. I remember Swami Ranganathanandaji of revered memory. He is the 13th president of our order. And we were one day bowing down to him. He was in his mid-90s. He's talking about the Atman, the real nature, our real nature. And he said two things. One thing he said, you know what it's like, the simplest analogy and the cutest analogy I've heard about the ultimate nature of things. He said, it's just like your favorite pillow you can relax back into. It's right there. And I remember peering behind him. It was just the wall, nothing else was there. Right there means not our experiences of the world, not the senses through which we experience this world, not the mind which processes the data of the senses, that to which this entire display appears. You turn inwards into that. You are that. This is what Vedanta tells us. And all the processes of Vedanta, all that we study in Vedanta, is trying to point it out to us. It's obvious for the enlightened one, not at all obvious for us. Because it's not obvious for us, what do? What is available to us, this world, which is that infinite reality itself, being grasped through the mind and the senses. This world, we take it to be the only reality. This body, we take it to be the only reality. This little life, birth, aging, death, we take it to be the only reality. And then we grasp it. This grasping is what the Buddha identified as the sole cause of all our trouble. He called it tissa in Pali. In Sanskrit, it is trishna, thirst. This thirst for this continued limited existence. This continued, I must live like this. And these must be mine. All the things that I want must be mine. The people that I want, things I want, the position I want. At the moment, what I want is continuously subject to change. Nobody can say, even Amazon Prime can't satisfy you. Because it's continuously subject to change. We get it, we really want it, we get it. Oh, not good, I have to return it. And then we get the next one. And then we throw it away. And so this is what is going on in our lives. We're trying to grasp what we want in this limited world. This limited world is that unlimited coming to us through time, space, and causation. How is it coming? Through our mind and senses. That's how we are grasping it. Now, little bit, let's look under the hood. What's going on here? You see the subtlety of Vivekananda's approach. It seems to be unconnected. He suddenly talked of law of karma. Then he talked about vyapti. Now he's talking about non-duality, the Brahman and all that. But notice, if you bring them together, this causality, which is law of karma, it is part of Maya, time, space, and causation. It is in this universe, not in the ultimate reality. You see, if you put it together, this causality, law of karma, it is this universe because it is on the stage, the Broadway stage of Maya. The stage is made of causality. It's made of time and space and causality. And the play is taking place there. So when we deal with this universe, everywhere there is causality, cause and effect. Actions have consequences and none escape the law. But the law is very much part of Maya, part of this play, part of this movie we are watching. And connected to it is the mind. That's what Vivekananda brought in. It's the mind which grasps this repeated pattern of occurrences and calls it law. So, causality, Maya, mind, and our little life, they're all connected. Reality lies beyond causality, beyond the mind, beyond this little life. If it lies beyond, what is it to us? But it's you. You lie beyond it all. And the solution is given by Vivekananda. Good, good, bad, bad, none escape the law. Whosoever wears a form must wear the chain too. Then, next. So what's the solution? He says, but far beyond name and form is Atman ever free. No, thou art that sannyasi bold. Say Om Tat Sat Om. Beyond this name and form, beyond causality, beyond mind, beyond this universe is the reality. So, no, thou art that, Tattvamasi, and say Om Tat Sat Om. So that is freedom. Freedom from causality, freedom from Maya, freedom from the mind. All of it is the same thing basically. It sounds very abstruse and distant. Not at all. It's as distant as you are from yourself. How far are you from yourself? No distance. The only distance between you and that reality is ignorance and knowledge. It's not a journey from one place to another. It's not a journey from one time to another. It's not somewhere that we have to go. It's not something that we have to wait for. It's right here, right now. It's always there all the time. Then why can't we access it? It's knowledge. It's ignorance, which is a veil, and we do not know that reality. That's why we grasp Trishna, this thirst. Vivekananda says this is what traps us in this world. We think this play is the only reality that there is, and we want it to continue, and we want it to go the way it will. We would like it to. It will not go the way we like it to, because it's determined by our past karma. The director is God, not in our hands. And thank God. If the plays in Broadway were to go the way we want it, it would be utter chaos. It would be madness. And then if the plays went the way we wanted it to, and at the end of it, we would be the biggest critics. This is so awful. No, it is going the way. There is a director behind it. It's going the way it is. And the whole point of this game, what's the point of it all? The point is our liberation. Point is our freedom. All right. I don't know if I'm doing justice to this talk. You can just see how profound and vast it is, what grounds it covers. So I recommend that we read this talk, the freedom, the talk on freedom in Karma Yoga. It's the last but one chapter on in Karma Yoga, small book. Amazing. I'm not even 1/3 of the way down, by the way. Now, we are about to run out of time, but still. Now, this is the solution. You have to realize that you are limitless existence, consciousness, bliss, aham brahmasmi, beyond the body, mind, beyond this time, space and causation. Vivekananda says, what is this universe? It is infinite. It comes into limitation and it goes into the infinite. Our lives, what are they? They are infinite. They seem to have come into limitation and they go beyond. Advaita Vedanta says, yes, it is infinite. And now also it is infinite. It has not come into limitation. And not that it will go on to infinity. It will always remain what it is. Only now there is the appearance of limitation. Appearance of one little being struggling in the world, No, you will realize, when we become enlightened, we will realize it was always all right. It was always all right. There was never any problem at all. We will realize that. But right now, that's not true. Right now, Vivekananda here brings in the question of free will. He says, now with this background, take up the question of free will. Now you see, Vivekananda says, now you see there cannot be anything such as free will. Because there is freedom. Your limitless nature, existence, consciousness, bliss, that is freedom. In fact, one of the terms used for Brahman in Vedanta is moksha swarupa, the very nature of freedom. The goal is freedom, moksha, mukti, freedom. So there is freedom. And Vivekananda says that freedom, when it passes through time, space and causations, it comes to the realm of causation. It comes to the realm of law. It comes to the realm of actions and effects, actions and consequences. Then it's no longer free. Everything here has a precedent. Remember that chain of events which the mind is grasping as law, a pattern, fire, smoke, fire, smoke. So everything here, every smoke has its fire behind it. So it is not free in that sense. In this world, we seem to have a sense of freedom, but nothing in this world is free. It is determined by past causes and consequences. He is talking about a kind of determinism here in this world. It's so interesting. Just recently, a book which has been making the waves, Determined, Robert Sapolsky. He is a professor at Stanford, I think. If you look, he looks like an ancient Indian rishi. He has this long beard, and his basic thesis is there is no free will. We think we are free. Sorry, you are not. Everything that you think you're doing freely is determined, and it can be predicted earlier by brain science or. So it's a big, complex book. I'm trying to make some inroads into it, but he makes a strong case, and it's a disturbing case, that what we think is freedom. Our entire society is based on the assumption that we are free. You go to the supermarket, tremendous variety of choices. Why? Because they think you're free to choose. You go to elections and you have a choice between the candidates. Why? Because you think you're free to choose. The judge, somebody is hauled up before the judge and accused of a crime and punished. Why? Because the law assumes you are free to do otherwise, but you chose to be naughty, so you need to be punished. And so freedom is assumed in law, in economics, in politics. It's assumed in religion. Why would you say do this and don't do that unless there is freedom? So what is assumed, but yet if you investigate, it doesn't seem to be true. And Vivekananda says, no, in this world of Maya, it is determined. There is causality is upon us, karma is upon us. However, Vivekananda says, now he asks this question once again, what is this universe? He says, it has come from freedom into bondage and it shall go on to freedom. What are we? We have come from freedom into bondage and we shall go on to freedom. Only Advaita Vedanta says here, you have come from freedom seemingly into bondage. You're still free. And you realize that you're free. And then you will enjoy the benefits of that freedom here. But body and mind and senses will always be trapped in this chain of causality. The body will age. It will get disease. It will die. Nothing can stop it. Because it's part of a chain of causality. Now what? Vivekananda now says, now we can begin. Vivekananda now says, don't worry, I won't prolong the torture. I'll just give you the solution. The problem, Vivekananda says, all this is fine. We realize we are Brahman, you go through Drigdrishya Viveka, the process of seer and seen, you go through the analysis of the 5 sheets of the human personality, you go through the analysis of waking, dreaming, deep sleep, Mandukya Upanishad, and all these things we have been talking about. And you get a clear understanding. And yet it doesn't make a difference to our lives. Why? Because we are unable to give up this trishna, this thirst for holding on to this little life, which is in bondage, which is trapped within Maya. And we want this, we want to be like this. But you can't be free like this. You have to step back from this little life into your infinite nature. But we don't want to. So Vivekananda says, there are these 2 great paths. One he calls the path of neti, not this, not this. The negative path, the direct path. Most powerful, spoken of in the Upanishads. Why is it most powerful? Why is it called direct? Directly your real nature is pointed out. And hopefully we will get it. When you get it, you notice 2 things. It is effortless, it's instantaneous. Who doesn't want instantaneous spirituality? Everybody wants, I want to be Buddha, but right now. And I want to be Buddha, but without all the trouble that Buddha went through, the 10 years of extremely hard work. No. I want to be Buddha without any effort, and right now. Yes, I'm going to sign up for that. And the Advaita path seems to promise that. Instantaneous, effortless. But notice, none of them who become enlightened, what's his name? Sam Harris. He pointed out that, notice, none of them who became enlightened, even if they talk about direct path and so on and so forth, they all practiced and they all tried, and usually for a long time. And then he says, assume you are like one of them. So it's better to sign up for practice and hard work over a long period of time. Now, this is one path. You realize that, and then next. Next, the path, the direct path says, live according to what you have realized. If you realize you are limitless consciousness, live like that. What does it mean, live like that? Ask is very high there. You live like that means you be fearless. Nothing you should be afraid of. Tomorrow the doctor hands me a diagnosis of terminal disease. You have got only 1 month left or 15 days left. It should matter nothing to me. Because I know this body is nothing. One day it will go. It's an appearance in limitless awareness, existence, which I am. Can we do that? Nothing should be able to tempt me. Nothing should be able to terrify me. Why should anything tempt me? I am limitless existence. Whatever exists. Is the ocean tempted by one wave? No. That wave is part of me anyway. That wave doesn't exist apart from me. No thing in the world, no person in the world, no power in the world, no pleasure in the world should be able to tempt me or move me. No threat in the world should be able to terrify me. Yes, when bad things happen, we should react and do the best that we can. But we will not be shaken by anything in the world, no matter how much of a disaster it is. If you have realized that you are Brahman. Is it that easy? No. We say, look, the ask is too much. It wants you to be perfect, a Buddha, a Jivan Mukta, right now. Why? And their position is correct. They say, why should you not be? Because you are Brahman. Right now you are. You've always been. Step back from this delusion and realize your true nature. Vivekananda says, no, thou art that. Far beyond is Atman never free. No, thou art that sannyasi bold. Say Om Tat Sat Om. We cannot. We have to admit we cannot. And is the path wrong? The direct path? No, it's not wrong. Remember, they have bounded it with very high entry requirement. Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadamadi, Shat Sampatti, Mumukshutva. What do these terms mean? The capacity to discern between the eternal and non-eternal, between the reality and appearance. Then Vairagya, deep dispassion for the appearance. And the disciplines, perfect control of mind and senses. Remember, it is mind and senses which bring the world to us through time, space and causation. Perfect control of the minds and senses. An intense desire for freedom. Now, if we don't have that, then we can't blame that path. They already told us to make this real, you must come with these qualifications, or at least generate these powerful qualifications. Once you have these qualifications, you can see that then this realization, you'll be able to live according to your understanding then. Long ago, Plato said, to know the good is to be good. We immediately rebel. No, to know the good is not to be good. We know what is good, but we can't be good. That's our problem. But the old philosopher was right. It's only when the mind is pure and clear and you are in control of yourself, then to know the good is to be good. Why wouldn't you be good? Why wouldn't I be good if I know it's good? I acknowledge it's good and I'll be good. I'll do what is good. But I can't. I cannot. What comes in between? Human condition comes in between. It's called Trishna, this clinging to this little life. I, me, mine. Then Vivekananda says, and this is the point of the whole talk, that there is another way. He says it's a slower way, but it's an easier way and it's doable right now. Instead of turning away from the appearance, instead of turning away from time, space and causation, instead of turning away from mind and senses, you plunge into this appearance. You use the world and use your experience of the world to evolve in spiritual life and attain to that same non-dual liberation. How do you do that? He calls it the path of iti, iti. These are the words he used. This. Neti, neti, not this, not this. Iti, iti, this. He says there, the problem is not the world. The problem is not even karma. The problem is not even causality, time, space. None of these are the problem. Why should they be a problem? They have been put in place to help us in our spiritual evolution. The problem is one word, attachment. He says, the moment you throw out this tentacle of I, me, mine, that he calls it the tentacle of selfishness. Stop being an octopus, a squid, throwing out this tentacle of selfishness and trying to grab the world as I, me, mine. I want it this way and not that way. No, stop that. When you stop that, what do you replace it with? This detachment, this continuous, he calls it this continuous sacrifice of the little self. Keep saying, not I, not mine. this detachment with involvement in the world. You continue to, Vivekananda says, you continue to have your family, your job and your occupation in the world and take care of the body and live your life in the world as it is presented to us, as part of the Broadway play, as part of Maya. Live your life there. But introduce this not I, not me, not mine. This continuous, in his words, continuous sacrifice of the little self. He gives us a prayer, actual prayer to repeat continuously. He says, none of it for me. The good, the bad, or the indifferent. I do not care for any of them. All of this I offer to thee, God, in whatever form, the director of the play. It is all thine. I just acknowledge it. It's all thine. This body, this mind, these powers of our senses, this life that I have, the people I have around me, I know it's generated by my past karma. I continuously offer it back to the Lord. Not me, not mine. This practice of continuous detachment, non-attachment. Vivekananda says, this will free you. This will free you. Live here. You don't have to deny it. Live here in this world. He says, he gives an example. The negative example is, suppose there's a painting, you admire it very much. And then it is destroyed or burned. And you say, oh, too bad. It's a loss. But suppose it was your painting. You said it's mine. And then it's destroyed. The effect on you is devastating. You'll never forget it. You'll be traumatized. Why? It's the same painting and the same destruction. But because of the tentacle of selfishness, that it is mine. Notice, Vivekananda says you may possess it also. Legally it is yours. But internally, mentally, don't say it is mine. Then he gives a positive example. A child. You have a son or a daughter. He says, yes, of course, have the child. But internally don't say mine. The Lord is present in me in this form and I shall worship the Lord. Yes, give the child education, nurture, and you take care of the child as you would, probably better if you feel that your beloved Krishna or Ramakrishna is present in the form of that child. Every little boy is, there's a saying, is Mahadeva, Shiva. Every little girl is Parvati or Gauri, the Divine Mother. That's the attitude that you take. Internally. Don't tell the kids. They'll think you're crazy. They'll say, stop going to the Vedanta Society. What rubbish. This is an entirely internal adjustment. The moment we do it, we will immediately benefit will be there. A sense of, Vivekananda sense, a sense of peace and relief. Immediately. Not me, not mine. Even the body, the closest thing to us, it's not me, not mine. Thou, my Lord, you have provided me with this body, with this wonderful equipment to live this life for my spiritual development. Good. I am a sentient being in this body. But the body is not me. One sadhu put it so nicely. He says, why do you think the body is yourself? Do you have the papers for the body? In Hindi, he says, dastawej hai. The cop pulls you up, show me the papers. Not for your car, for your body. Did you make the body? No. Even your parents didn't. Nature did almost all the work. You didn't make the body. You don't have the papers for it. Did somebody gift it to you? No. Then that same monk, he's saying, what else? Do you own the materials out of which this body is made? No. The earth and the fire and the water, all the elements and molecules, do you own them? No. Did you make them? No. Then why do you think it's your body? Well, it responds to me. I feel here, I'm here, and it responds to me. That also is not under your control. A little stroke somewhere, and then physiotherapy, can't lift the hand. Even just lifting the hand is such a miracle. You just have to go to a physiotherapy unit and see a stroke patient struggling to lift one hand. You realize what a complex miracle it is to do this. All of it is being done by nature. You don't even have to say God. Bhagavad Gita says, Prakrityeva karmani kriyamanani sarvasya. Nature alone does everything here. Then what am I? Ya pashyati tathatmanam akartaram sapashyati. The one who realizes this, realizes I am the non-doer self. You are the watcher. You are the beneficiary of this Broadway play called life and the universe. Nothing here is done by you. Not even this body. Not one bit of it actually is under your control, even if it seems to be. Not even the so-called free will, even if it seems to be. It's a display put up by the Lord for our spiritual education. Vivekananda says it's a moral gymnasium where we develop our spiritual muscles. And so we grow spiritually. So the practice, he says, nothing here I want, not the good, not the bad, not the indifferent. I do not care for that. These are his words. I do not care for it. Say it to yourself. All this I sacrifice unto you. Make a whole day a continuous sacrifice of the little self unto the Lord. Remember, practically you're doing the same thing in the world outside. He says, then his words, you can charge into the middle of cannon and find peace there. The one which causes misery, the one which causes disturbance, anxiety, fear, temptation, all of that is this tentacle, being a squid, putting this tentacle forward and trying to grasp something which is on the stage. Imagine if the audience started interfering with the play, telling the actors, don't do that, you have to do like this. No, you can't do that. It's meant for you to watch, for your edification, for your aesthetic enjoyment and your spiritual growth. Careful. In the body and the mind, all action will go on. So Vivekananda puts it this way. Detachment, renunciation, along with, he says, incessant activity. Then he goes on. This is from the Gita. He says, none here can cease from work even for a moment. This is a direct translation from the Gita. Even for a moment, you cannot stop acting. As long as you identify this body and mind are forever in action. And why are we in action? There also. All action, whatever you go see here, all of it is meant to take us to enlightenment, to God realization. That's the purpose. From Vedantic perspective, that's the purpose of life itself. Aurobindo defined it. Life itself is yoga. Life itself is spirituality. You know it, then you call yourself a spiritual person. I go to the Vedanta Society, I read Vedanta books, I meditate, I do service, I'm a yogi. Good. The other person on the street says, I don't do any of that, I'm not even interested. He's still doing yoga. He might just say that I'm living my life. I'm just a regular guy living my life. That's also yoga. But what's the difference? The difference is that takes a lot of hard knocks and a long time of drifting around in the ocean of samsara, lifetime after lifetime. And then what will happen? Then you will come to yoga. So why not do it now? If you are blessed with this, at one point we'll become mature, that we want spirituality. And then we want spirituality, you start walking on this path. So Vivekananda's recommendation is, so this is the one takeaway from today. If you find, I understand non-duality, but now what? I can't immediately put it into practice. I can't walk the talk right now. The rubber meets the road, that's the expression. Then the way what we can do, every one of us, if you're spiritual seekers, we can continuously sacrifice this little self internally. Not I, not me, not mine. Thou my Lord, thou my Lord. Thou art the master, I am the servant. Thou art the mother, and this entire universe is thy play. Swami Turiyananda puts it this way. He says, Vivekananda could say, I am Brahman. It suited him. It doesn't suit us. In Bengali, he said, Amader Shadena. So what do we say? We says, thou my Lord, thou, tuhu, the Divine Mother. Everything here in the Divine Mother. He says, through non-dual Vedanta, realize your nature as freedom itself. And then the rest of your life, live it as a play with the Divine Mother. Your little child, a toddler playing with the mother, this entire life, until the death of this body, is a play with the mother. Do your best that you can. You will do much better when you take this attitude. When we take the I and mine attitude, we do miserably. We hurt ourselves and we hurt others. And then we end up lonely, depressed, meaningless. This whole life is a burden, sour face. It's only because of that tentacle of grasping. It won't work. You cannot grasp anything. It's continuously slipping away from our grasp, this universe. It's not meant to be grasped. It's nothing here waits for you. Now people will be hurt if I say this. People come here, Vedanta, there's wonderful saving knowledge is there, but the first concern is, immediately, within a few days, is, so how do I get the kids interested in this? No, it's a good thing, but it's always secondary. First, you become interested. You advance sufficiently in spiritual life. Kids is one thing. Even greater project, how do I get the grandkids interested in this? Because grandparents have lots of time in their hand, especially Indian grandparents. And their one project seems to be, since I failed with the kids, those useless fellows, But at least the grandkids, something I can make out of them. No, it's good. You keep on doing. The reason, I'm not knocking those efforts, because I'm here because of my grandparents. My grandfather used to, when we were little kids, he used to give us books of Vivekananda and all of that. So it's good. It's like your duty, parental and grandparental duty, to pass on this heritage to the next generation. But first and foremost, be selfish. Enlighten selfishness. Not the I, me, mine, my grandchildren. No. I must realize this truth in my life and enjoy the benefits. See, I am Brahman, I am complaining, I'm cribbing because I'm not enjoying the benefits. I get it, but I'm not enjoying the benefits. The direct path says, the moment you say that you understand it, you have realized this, if you say that, then you lose your right to grumble. You can't complain about anything in life anymore. But we are not ready to sign up for that. It's too much. All right. Vivekananda gives you another approach. Full engagement with the world. Indeed, you must be engaged. Let us keep on doing the best that we can in the world, but with this internal attitude of not me, not mine. I don't want one single thing from this world. Not an attitude of contempt. Not an attitude of indifference. No. Vivekananda says, blessed we are that we have been called out into this field. Let the giver kneel down and offer. Let the receiver stand up and receive. It's a worship that we are doing. And we are glad, we are very happy that for the few days, few years, the divinity has come on the stage of time, space and causation, manifested as this universe, and helping us, giving us this wonderful privilege and opportunity in the few years of our life to be able to do something. Yes, do it at the level of the family, do it at the level of the community, do it at the level of your organization or of the whole world, and be free, not attached. At no point say, I, me, mine. Vivekananda adds one more thing. Do not think you can help anybody. We are here to help ourselves. Selfishness, yes, but capital S. Enlightened selfishness. You are here to help yourself. By helping others, the first beneficiary is you. You yourself. He said the world is a dog's curly tail. The more you try to straighten it out, it becomes like this again. But by trying to straighten out the world, should we not try? Yes, we must try. Trying to straighten out the world, we become straight ourselves. And the world is designed in this way to help us. Nothing is wrong here, really. You might say terrible things are happening in the world. Yes, plunge into it. Vivekananda says, plunge into the middle of cannon and try to help wherever you can, whatever your field is. Not everything is, you don't immediately have to become an activist and go out on the streets and, what are you doing, Vedanta? No, you may not. Or you may, depending on what is the field of action that we have chosen for ourselves. Plunge into it, but not I, me, mine. This is my worship of the divine. In this way, when we live our lives, we will see suddenly the grand truths we were struggling with, which we understand, what we complain, we can't do it in our lives. They become practical suddenly, and we begin to get the benefit of it. We begin to get peace, and we begin to get a deep relaxation. Vivekananda says, deep relaxation within, an unbroken serenity of mind within, which comes from detachment, non-attachment, stepping back from causality. Could say more about this, but I've really gone beyond time. Whatever we are within the limits of time, space and causation, so we have to acknowledge that. I pray to Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharada, Swami Vivekananda, may they at least give us this much of strength and awareness that through the days and months of our lives in the years to come, may we continually turn our lives into one continuous sacrifice of the little self and continually say, not I, but thou, the mother of the universe. Not I, but thou, my Lord. That grace, let us have it in our lives, and that peace and blessing. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanam.